Hi, welcome to another episode of That's a Thing 2 Overture. It is episode 110, and it is May the 2nd.
May the 2nd. You would make like a May the 4th reference, but Fortnite's doing its Star Wars event today.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
It's the Star Wars showing up. It's gonna be Darth Vader, Jar Jar. So like,
Dar
yeah,
Dar.
yeah. I mean, I have
Dar
some
Dar.
things to talk about Fortnite, which is I watched a bit because there's a lot of video game crap that's going on, and I watched a bit of
Yep.
like the marathon game and how that marathon game looks completely sauceless. It does not look
Well,
good.
so, okay. One, I like the aesthetic. I think it looks good. Two, it's like they're not even calling this a beta; they're calling it an alpha. So I think there is a lot of like final features missing from it.
I think the flaw is they're trying to go into extraction shooter. I kind of agree with the sentiment of the extraction shooter is a genre for weirdos, and
Yep.
by necessity it does not work with normal humans, because if you're playing your battle royale kind of game and you get your cool gun, your cool rare gun, and
You
then
want to keep your cool rare gun.
you either want to keep your cool rare gun, or you want it relatively common enough so you get every match, which is
Yeah.
to bring it back to Fortnite. Whenever Fortnite does an event and they have their season gimmick item, the last item was Sub-Zero and Scorpion powers, so you could get gloves and they would let you throw the ice spear or do the slide,
Yeah.
and have those are relatively common, so you're gonna get them. And they've always they do it relatively enough where if you want to find them, you're gonna at least get it every game. If you want
Yeah.
Gojos, if you want that purple, the imaginary purple attack, you're gonna be able to get it. And I don't think it's gonna work if it was, well, 1 out of 100 games you're gonna get the cool attack, and now it's gone. I also think just making it marathon is inherently flawed, because you're going by saying I'm going to make a sequel to Final Fantasy VII, and then you're going to do the Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale because that's the part people really liked about it, not the story and characters. It was this other thing.
Oh, so I completely disagree with this. I think the vast majority of people do not know what marathon is.
Which
I
is
think they think it's an original product.
okay, so you don't think they don't understand? They didn't watch the Mandalore gaming video about the story of Marathon with Durandal,
Nope.
and about how
Nope.
that entire game is even how the cool part about that game is it's just like a Doom clone, and the story is about a robot that's transcending itself and becoming a god.
Nope. That is too inside baseball. Most people think this is a new IP, and they are saying, "Oh wow, I'm glad someone's making a new IP."
At most, you think they know that like this was the game they did before Halo.
This is the like full circle. This is the where like Bungie wanted Halo to be on Mac, and now we're back to Marathon, the first-person shooter for Mac.
Halo 1 has a lot of marathon stuff in it. A lot of the weirdness in Halo 1 is actually marathon pseudo lore.
Yeah.
There's at the beginning of the game, if Master Chief starts shooting people, they're saying he went rampant, and rampant is the term that cyborgs in Marathon went to. And the Marathon cyborg was a Battle Royale Mjolnir edition. It's kind of, and you wake up as Master Chief frozen in a tube, which I believe one of the cyborgs in Marathon was unattended. So even though they made its own lore, they completely said they scrapped, like by Halo 2, that the Marathon connection was no longer there. But it really was in Halo 1. It was cool.
Yeah.
There's like robots that'll talk to you as if you're the character and they interacted with in Marathon. They're like, "Oh yeah, I know what you are. You're one of those." And it's neat.
But,
It's neat.
but I think it's like you say, like I don't know. It seems like there is, like any roguelite, there is permanent progression that happens. So your character, even if you lose your cool stuff, you still get a character upgrade that subsists between rounds. But
It's
then that only lasts per season.
That's the pro. There's a lot of that game. It feels like it needs something. It needs something killer. It needs its killer like wild thing.
I feel like they're gonna pivot it away from being a extraction shooter.
I I could see
Like,
it. I think if that game was more 3-person co-op roguelike Borderlands kind of game, I think it would work better. It would be more
what if you go the other way and instead of making it more accessible, you say, no, this is going to be like a survival game struggle.
now
The
I'm into
PvP
it.
is not the PvP is not the issue. It's the that's the problem. If you encounter robots, you need to bail.
I think they should pivot hard into okay, this is going to be a Yoko Taro Suda 51 esque hyper experimental story based game. We are going because that's the part people talk about from Marathon 1. I mean, it looks like Doom. It runs okay. It's on the Mac. I never played it because I didn't have a Mac, and I was.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It's the cool thing was the story. So we're just gonna make it story. We're gonna make a cool story, and they didn't talk about it. But I don't know. Fortnite. Did you see those terrible Gundam wing skins in Overwatch?
So the Mercy one's okay.
They took the character with angel wings and they gave it the wing 0, which I feel.
Oh yeah, the wings are custom.
Yeah.
Yep, that's why it's good.
That's easy. I feel Tall Geese was completely mischosen. You needed to give it to the jetpack girl with the gun, with the missile.
Oh yeah. Why is that on Farah?
Because to me, that's like Tall Geese has those jetpacks and it has the gun.
Like, yeah, I think so. I saw an interview where apparently their first pass on these, they looked much more like just the Gundams. And then Bandai Namco said, no, you should put more of your own characters into them.
Okay.
And so now in universe, it's them wearing cosplay of those Gundams.
Do you think it's more like that Bandai Namco was upset that their Gundam Evolve died, and now Overwatch is putting their costume? It's like they're wearing their corpse of their own shooter.
No, because they're getting paid money for it.
Yeah. They're still...
Bandai Namco don't care.
Bandai Namco don't care. You know who else don't care?
You know.
There's some wild stuff. Okay. Okay. Let's get to it. Giant Bomb has died again.
Yup.
Giant Bomb is now officially dead for the second time.
Yup.
So did Polygon, which, I mean,
Out of nowhere.
It's gotten me.
Giant Bomb apparently has had enough notice of crap that the community is like, I think we better maybe archive all of the Giant Bomb content because the end times are probably coming.
I think you could read that on the wall. There's some wild stuff about like what happened with the Giant Bomb. I need to find God, I can't find the post. It was something like
yeah. I need to watch the last Bombcast, number 888.
Is that the one? I hear
Because
that Dan Reichert just goes off and he just burns every bridge and says what they were trying to get them to do.
I don't think it's just Dan. My
Well,
understanding is
it's
it's a lot of discussion about mishandling and like dumb leadership. And then the next day they were told you have to take this down.
oh, I'm gonna have to click on that one.
But so that's why. But thankfully, people understanding what had just been posted archived it, so it's out on the internet if you want to watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that sucker because man,
Nope.
man, I hear. So I heard stuff. This is unsubstantiated rumors. They wanted to pivot the entire site to like AI written guides.
God,
They wanted to take.
I know. I know. I heard no swearing.
Yeah, they wanted to keep it PG-13.
Yeah, like oh my God, just complete misunderstanding of what their property is. Which that's yep, that's no surprise from fandom.
Fandom is like the worst. They ruined the
Yeah,
Wikipedia. Fandom messed up the Wikipedia page. The thing.
there's a reason. One of the top results for browser extensions for fandom is just, oh, here's a better, like, not fandom version of this wiki. And that's all it does. It just points you to a better URL.
Fandom is one of the things that killed my desire to browse fan wikis because if you hit a fandom one, it was so bad. It was like
Yeah,
the worst.
they're like written by one person.
It's terrible.
That's the vibe they have.
And it's unusable even with like ad blocks. Like I'm ad blocking and no scripted, and then it's still the site takes forever because there's like Twitch embeds. It's like the stupid Fextra Life site where they kept putting every Twitch page really small, muted in the corner, so they could try to farm people's Twitch engagement. And you're like, this is just, what are you doing? It makes me, and this might sound in retrospect very stupid. I'm going to say it because I feel it's controversial and brave. And I think that the Gamergate people railing against video games journalism dying was one, obviously we know it was like right-wing reactionaries against women. But now I feel like we might be, maybe we should have done that now, because I feel the golden era of I went to websites to look at video game stuff it feels super dead. Like it was already on the corpse and now it's just dead.
Yeah.
There's always a couple of indie zines, people doing game articles that'll show up occasionally, and there's always people doing reviews. Like I don't read reviews anymore. I used to read every review of like video games, and it feels weird. Do you remember that? Where you'd read the reviews or watch the quick looks and stuff? And
I have to say no. I've never really done that. Bombcast, yes, and even that, not much. But like, I watched the trailers and that was it. Like it was, I knew I could not afford video games, so I watched the trailer like, oh, that looks neat. But I never. It's like, why would I read a review to know if I should buy it if I can't afford it anyway?
Well, for me, it was the extension of the video game magazine where I would read and watch footage of games I didn't have, so I would know what they are, and then I'd watch Let's Play, and then the Let's Play kind of happened too. So there are games I am intimately familiar with that I have never played. I know the story that gaming for me is like a religion and Haze is the shit. Because Jeff Gershman kept talking about that quote from the hit PS3 game Haze. And you're just like, it's one of those things where it's such a weird inside base. I think that's kind of the thing. It's the children And the general population longs for the inside of baseball. They
Yeah.
long for that. You're in the nitty gritty talking about your hobby or interest to an extent that to all outsiders makes no sense, but you're doing in jokes upon in jokes that the layman
Uh-huh.
does not understand. You're listening to a podcast where they're referencing Mushroom Men for the Wii, and you're chuckling because you get it. You watched that Giant Bomb Quick Look 2 years ago about some random Wii shovelware game, and no one's gonna understand this. And I liked that vibe. I really like that
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah, that is understandable.
It's that OneUp.com, that GameSpot Giant Bomb, that vibe of this is video games are cool, but not like G4, when G4 was trying to say video games were cool and it wasn't. This was like oh man, this is some cool guys talking about video games. And then Vinny's gonna spend like 20 minutes talking about woodworking. And you're just like, this is the good part of the podcast. And it feels sad. It dovetails into my feelings when 4chan died and came back. Of while 4chan is not a good website, it feels like it's one of the few remaining websites. And
Yeah.
in this internet, as internet dies and is consolidated into social media, and your bookmarks are turning into 5.
Follows.
Yeah, it's the sense of that sadness where I'm looking at the death of the old thing, even though the old thing sucked. It was the profound sense of sorrow when the Toys R Us in town closed. And
Like, Giant Bomb closing to me is more like, are you really fucking kidding me? Like, it already died, so I'm not sad because I've not watched Giant Bomb content.
oh, to me Giant Bomb
And
died when
everyone left.
Jeff left.
Exactly.
It's dead. And then the
Exactly.
Nextlander gang, and they made their own thing fairly soon. Then I'm like, yeah, this website's dead. It's gone.
Yeah. And so, like, now I'm not sad that it's gone
No.
because it's already been gone, but it's just surprising at how you can mismanage something so hard.
It's you're going it doesn't feel I am no business expert, but I feel like I could run Giant Bomb successfully. If not successfully, at least it would work.
Better than fandom.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's true. It's this idea of, okay, all I gotta do is find some talented video game people and then pay them enough money to just keep making crap. They need one podcast about video games a week, maybe a specialty podcast on rotation. We'll have like a wrestling one or anime one or whatever, book one. And then we'll do maybe we'll actually write some reviews. We'll do a video or two, maybe a quick look. Like it's not. I don't think it's hard. I don't think it's hard. Once you get, I mean, you need to know your cast. You need the cast, your crew,
Yep.
and you need to pay appropriately.
Yep.
But I feel
Gotta have
like,
the setup.
but you could do it though. It's not impossible. This isn't.
I mean, literally, Nextlander is doing it right now, just on Patreon.
Yeah, Jeff's just rolling. I watch This Week in Video Games with Skill Up every week, and it's pretty good. It's 30 minutes, and he says, here's the video game news, here's some stuff that's coming out. I think Skill Up's pretty good. Just a man in Australia with like his one or two editors, and one guy, basically 2 editors and some guys that also do like reviews and coverage on games he can't play. It's like 5 people max. They just run it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Nextlander is the 2.5 hour podcast talking about what they did for the week, but you could easily skip past that just to the news section.
Yeah. Yeah. Castle suit. It's so that
It's not hard.
it is not hard. It's not hard to do this, but it's because I feel the video game coverage website it peaked. It did peak, and it was good. It was really good.
Yeah, but the issue is profits did not continue to rise. It's not enough to be profitable. You have to be ever more
Yeah,
profitable.
that's the thing because you had to deal with the corporate. This was not. It's always mentally, and this is why I can't be a businessman apparently. But if I had the machine that cost, I put in $1, and then and then out came like a $20 bill, I'd be like sick. I'm gonna keep this machine going until money out is less than money in. But the investor man puts in the dollar, gets 20, and says, "I'm selling this thing. It's not making me $4 billion."
He puts in $1, gets a 20, then he puts in another dollar, and he gets mad that he didn't get a 50 this time.
Exactly. And I'm just like, what are you doing? But the money machine, it just prints money. It just goes.
Uh-huh.
You
Oh,
don't-
speaking of, Discord has now been bought, or not bought, but the CEO has now stepped down
yeah,
in his role as
it's a
the
form of
Activision Blizzard.
yeah. Oh, Discord's gonna get garbage. It's gonna get garbage,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna move to a new whatever thing.
Uh,
Is it?
at some point, you just have to wait for the open source one to show up.
Yeah, that's just what happened. Well, it was Skype, and then Skype went to crash, and then everyone went to Discord because Discord. I kind of hate Discord because I feel Discord is
Yep.
one of the things that killed the internet forum.
Uh-huh.
And
I hate it 100%. When you tell me
to
to
join
find an
the
answer,
Discord,
I have to go into a Discord chat.
oh, I hate it.
I despise it.
I'd rather have nothing. I'd rather have nothing. That's the dark internet we're going to. It's Discord server, fandom wiki, or social media thread.
Socials. That's it. That's
And-
all of it.
And I hate it. I hate this. I do not like it. I miss internet forums. I miss websites. You could go to a website and that was the Homestar runner. Homestar.
Okay.
The last Homestar.
Okay. I think I have a thesis I want to write now.
All right. Lay it on.
And I think it is charting the internet and the phases of the internet, the like individual websites, and then now aggregating to social medias or whatever, and looking at the same data but for mom and pop stores to the rise of the mall and then the death of the mall. So charting when this era of the internet will die as we begin to move back to something else.
So effectively, yeah, you're saying that we had the big box retail, and the big box retail is currently dying due to venture capitalism, and the mom and pop shops are not shops. Mom and pop shops are starting to return because people are like,
Yeah.
well, I want to go my thing.
Because now it's either you buy it online for convenience or you go to a mom and pop shop. Like, you go to someone who you think is an expert to learn more about it.
Yep. I either go because I don't. Oh man. Although it's sad. It is. I guess it's similar to say this stuff and seeing the Toys R Us, but your death of Best Buy, and if you've walked into a Best Buy and you're like, ugh. Kind of the same as walking into a GameStop. I feel like the GameStop is the filthiest.
Yeah, like, I'm just thinking about if I'm going to Best Buy.
I can't remember the last time I went into a Best Buy.
Oh, we went in to look at Bluetooth speakers for Kelsey.
Okay, so basically, yeah, I think I went in there for like a headphone. It's
Yeah,
it's the Best Buy is now you either go there because you need some kind of electronic thing that is necessary, but the Amazon week getting there is too long.
and it's also like I don't know. Sometimes I want to go to Best Buy just so I have more faith in the product I'm buying. That it's not just like, oh no, this was either a scam or the cheapest, shittiest way we could make this product.
You gotta find your squeeze ball online, and you try to get the biggest squeeze ball for your hand. It's still a little small, but it was the one that was the most reviewed,
Yeah,
so you just gotta go with it because it's already here. It's a little too
and
hard.
like, oh god, now I'm sitting here waxing nostalgic for Radio Shack.
There's I I feel this is an aspect to lame cyberpunk that we have not yet explored, which is the wistful longing of the shitty 90s of like of this idea of like, do you remember Books a Million? And then just having this thing and you're like, I could go there and they had magazines in the back, and then I'd read the magazine. And now, like, if you go into like a Barnes and Noble or shit, it's just like half retail store, vaguely.
Yeah, it's just
It
half Funko Pop and board games.
it's what the Scholastic Book Fair all metamorphosized into, where it started as books with a couple of toys in the back, and now it's toys with a couple of books vaguely attached
Yeah,
to it. And you're going. I was not above it. I remember I I never bought a book at the Scholastic Book Fair. And I think that was primarily because my parents had the thing where if I wanted to read a book, they would just buy it for me because I wanted to read a book.
that'll do it. I mean, the book fair is just there to raise money for the school, right? That's what
Yeah.
they don't tell you as
No,
a
they don't
child.
tell you that. Yeah, I just
That, oh my god, that is, oh my god, I hate this country.
oh, it's going back. I posted it and I still feel I have this existential nervousness in like my chest the same time before COVID. I have that same on the precipice of disaster feeling.
Yeah,
I understand it's not alone, but I have that feeling. And I understand it's also I am in a very privileged position where I understand the Trump tariff devastation is not going to completely destroy me, but it will make
yeah,
things worse. It already has made things worse. It will continue to make things worse. And it's just
yeah.
and I'm sitting here like this is going to suck for at least 3 possibly more years because that's just how it is.
Mhm.
And then basically it's going to suck for 3 to 6 years, and then it's going to start to like improve, but by that point people will have blamed the new party, and then they'll just vote in the Republicans again, and the cycle will continue. The
Yep,
pendulum will
like it
continue to
always
swing.
does. It the best case scenario is that Kitty Hims get primaried in the midterms. It's not that Republicans get replaced, it's that the shitty Dems who don't do dick get replaced.
We're going to get a little political here, but let me tell you, Drew, did you not shed a tear in patriotism when Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said he sent a sternly worded letter to
Oh,
Trump?
man.
Sternly,
Eat a
Drew!
fucking dick.
Sternly! You just you waking up one day, you get hit with the sternly worded letter, and you just feel, oh, you're just damage. You're just taking it.
Man, I'll do one better. Like Cory Booker doing the like like over 24-hour longest filibuster, whatever.
That
And then he turns around and votes to send more weapons to Israel.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, and then it did nothing.
Yeah, also true. It's just like first show. It's like
he was just talking there, and then they just go, okay, so we're passing it, right? And they're like, yeah. It's like, well, what'd you do?
and it's like all the people being like, well, blah, 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 and then they're just confirming his appointments anyway. It's like,
Yeah,
what
yeah, dog. Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean that we're
don't drink any milk. Speaking of appointments, don't buy milk. They're cutting their like regulations on milk safety.
Well, listen, Drew. Didn't you know that fluoride is causing autisms and dumbness? So we got to get that out of the water and replace it with more brainworm eggs. I need the eggs.
No, best case scenario, he's the bad guys from Animorphs.
Oh yeah, if he was a Yerk, all things are forgiven, dog. Yerk me up.
I think I have pivoted to the situation of like, if I was in the Thing, I think I would actively be trying to get the Thing to the rest of the world.
Now, there is an interesting aspect. It's the thought of the aspirational fantasy, and I can say in my own nerdy way over things I think of, and when the times are good, it's like adventure, and now it's like, should I just become supervillain? Is supervillain even wrong? Is it even wrong? Is this like, I understand there's some supervillain that's wrong, but you're like, maybe the Filtramites should just show up. Maybe is that worse? Is that worse?
Yeah, seriously.
Is that worse?
At this point, for us, no. Well, because I think they're going to use us as breeding cattle. So I don't think they're going to uphold us to the same level of you have to be strong. But of course,
No,
maybe
it's gonna
after
be
one
bad.
generation, they're like, maybe after a generation of breeding, they're just going to be like, actually, now we can just murder all the humans.
It's when I'm looking at stuff like Cyberpunk, and I know it's the dystopian hell, but at least robot arms are cool, though. There's something cool
Yeah.
there. I feel like I got nothing cool. I'm getting
Yeah.
I'm getting government cyber AIs trying to do propaganda and yelling at each other, and then I can't play my Nintendo. Like that.
You know, our robot arms, you're going to have to watch an ad to use it.
Exactly.
Think about that. It's going to be like, oh, I just wanted to make
I
a
got my
sandwich.
Ghost
I
in the
guess
Shell
I'll
brain
watch
chip,
an ad.
and now I'm trying to call in my Section 9, but I gotta watch this unskippable ad for Fritos. Hold on. Like, I hate lame cyberpunk. I want to see lame cyberpunk explored. I feel it is a rich genre of the unknowable horror of modern day life that we are approaching. It's Black Mirror, but just lame.
Yeah.
It's lame
Yeah,
Black Mirror.
We need Black Mirror tinged with I think you should leave.
I think that is the tone. It is the tone of the Black Mirror episode, or like that movie Her, where the man falls in love with AI, and our current version is Facebook automated John Cena solicits sex for minors. And you're just like, this is the dumbest version of this.
Yeah.
Like, why are we getting the dumb version? Why can't I have Cool Robot? I don't even get Cool Robot. I get, like, Dumb Robot. I don't even get Robot. But the robot isn't even, like...
You don't even get robot.
No, I'm getting like people getting fired and being replaced with predictive text algorithm that doesn't know what it's saying. And and that's not good. I don't like it.
Hey, oh my god. So like all the trainings that currently come in my email are all like AI and how to use AI or whatever. And then this week, one of the articles is like the next big AI job that was supposed to be isn't. What happened to prompt writer? It's like, what? There's no self-awareness. You don't understand. The whole thing you have propped up is worth it? Really? Like, let me tell you something. If your whole thing is supposed to be, oh, the AI can help you do whatever job, then why do I need to be an expert? Why can't I ask the AI to help me do whatever job it is? Hey, help me ask you to be better at this job. How do I do that?
My only hope,
Why?
and I still say it, is that AI is too expensive to actually make
It
money.
is. It is, and that's what I was coasting on until Elon Musk became the shadow president. But now I think he pissed off Trump or something, so we're back into AI might just die anyway.
I mean that's well, I mean we're dealing with is dementia mood swings. So
Yeah.
that's where we're sitting.
Well, it's also just two giant egos. And like no way is he gonna let anyone who thinks they're better than him and can't hide it around him.
Oh yeah, that it doesn't
Uh,
matter.
but speaking of sex robots,
All right.
companion
Yeah.
companion, uh, it's like a 3 out of 5, but it's got ideas.
That's the I like that. That's a good kind of. We would call that in the biz the video essay film where you hear about on a video essay and or because someone saw it and they're like, this movie's okay, but it got me thinking. It got me
Yeah.
thinking.
So, if you're unaware, this is
I am unaware.
uh, and so to put it in movies terms, she is an emotional support robot
Okay.
that fucks,
Okay. Does she look like Midna
and
from the Twilight Princess Zelda game?
no, she does not. She looks
Then
like a
what are we
normal lady.
doing here? What are we doing here?
But she has been jailbroken, so they can pin a murder on her.
Ooh, okay. Ooh.
Gonna factory
Ooh.
restore her after the murder, so it hides the jailbreaking.
Ooh. Okay. That
And so like, yeah. And so the premise, you think, oh, so she's just gonna like murder everyone, and it's gonna be, oh no, she's coming for us. No, the movie is sympathetic to her.
well, yeah.
It is a reflection on like relationship treated.
Yeah, cuz she's basically your robot lady is being is given freedom to effectively you're simultaneously being given self and personhood only to have it erased for ew. I
And
don't
so like the more interest, so like there's some real like whatever like I her character arc is good. It's a steady like awakening to sapience and everything.
yeah.
But like the more interesting character, because it's like a friends retreat. So it's a friends retreat. It's this couple, the guy and the sex robot, and then it's like a gay couple that's their friends, and then the rich Russian guy who's skeezy and their friend who is his arm king.
Okay.
And she has misled the sex robot couple into believing he's connected to the Russian mafia. When surprise, he's just skeezy, but he's like in manure or something, and that's where all his money's.
Yeah.
But the more interesting thing is the gay couple. Because one of them is an older edition sex robot.
Ooh.
And we don't learn this until they're arguing about, like, the plot is revealed. The gay couple was covered. They did not know. And so they're arguing about when they discover it's like, well, it's going to be a three-way split. And it's like four-way. It's like, I'm not splitting it with him. And then one of the couple turns to the other and says, sleep. And so it's like, wait, he's a robot too?
Ooh. That's cool.
And it gets better. So later on in the woods, when they're hunting for the missing sex murder robot because they couldn't wipe her before she escaped, the gay couple have a conversation about how the robot learned he was a robot, but he didn't care because he still loved his partner.
Ooh.
And, like, that's the fascinating part of it. It's like, wait a second, these things can become self-aware? Like, they're capable of that? What does that mean for the world?
That is a dire situation. That is a fascinating situation.
And so that leads us to the best part of the movie. The flesh and blood gay man gets, like, accidentally, like, gets murdered in the struggle between murder sexbot and him. Like, you could tell she doesn't want to kill, but she's self-aware enough that it's me or you, so she chooses her.
Yeah, no, you gotta self-preserve.
And so sitting there holding his boyfriend's corpse, like, depressed, Jack Quaid from The Boys is the shitty boyfriend who...
Yeah, he's Sex Robot's robot.
Yeah. He like takes the phone that controls the other sex bot and tries to just like unlocks it and tries to say, okay, hunt her down. And, like, he won't respond to the phone's commands.
Ooh.
He is too, like, depressed and, like, emotionally engaged.
No, that's good.
So this scene is shot with the same level of exasperation of trying to do, like, an install that keeps breaking.
Oh, that's
as we
good.
watch Jack Quaid factory default the robot.
That's wild.
He's
He's having
like
the same
erasing...
issues that I have when I'm trying to get the stupid OBS to, like, capture League of Legends and to turn on is to delete this man's memory of his dead lover and then turn him into kill mode.
Yeah, and it's just like this whole scene of just like, this is so fucked up, and he just does not care at all. Like, there is no sympathy or emotion. It's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, come on.
See, I think that's the inherent problem of why the sex robot is not, to me, a solution, because I have too much empathy with the robot. And if if the robot it's your catch-22 where I feel if the robot had enough sapience and human being, then it couldn't love me because then it's been told to do it and it doesn't want to do that.
Kelsey and her friend did not like the movie, and one of their complaints was like, why is there not like a backup safety feature in case, like, why can't you just turn voice commands off? Why is there not, like, a backup safety feature? And I'm, like, internally thinking, well, no, I would turn off the voice prompt so that way they feel more like an actual human
it has to
being.
be, it has to be, if you're in the situation where you're buying your sex robot, you're and not just for sex robot. Like you're not buying your fetish robot. That's different robot.
It's literally your emotional support robot. Like as stupid as it is, it's kind of not wrong.
You're buying there's the girlfriend robot. Okay, let's say there's the partner robot that you're going to go to dinner with, and then there's the partner robot that lives in the disgusting dungeon. And disgusting dungeon robot does not need sapience. It is there for one thing and one thing alone. But the partner robot, you want it to work. You want it to get as close as possible, because otherwise you wouldn't want the partner robot. You don't want like R2-D2 going around with you that's like beep, 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 beep. Like that's not doing it.
It doesn't matter how sophisticated it is. You'll eventually hit the lines. You'll eventually find the themes. And so the more you can do to hide those,
Yeah, because that's what you want
otherwise
them.
you're gonna come face to face with your loneliness sooner.
Oh, because you don't. Yeah, you're cashing with the companion. I keep calling it the sex role. The companion robot is gray life damage. You're getting gray
Yeah,
life damage with the companion
yeah.
robot. But you're still on the perfect. But as soon as that companion robot hits like the tell me more, tell me more in the same phrase, then you take all that relationship damage. You take it
Uh,
all.
yeah.
So,
And that's the sad part. It's not even relationship damage. You're just like, I'm sad and alone.
oh no. Not even Dungeon Robot's gonna fix this problem. We're not we're not going to that one post where it was Riker from Star Trek, and he goes, computer, activate Golden Corral simulation, lock the door, and remove safety protocols on chicken and gravy. And I'm just like, think about that post a lot. But yeah, no, there's some thoughts in that movie. When the
Yeah,
robots start thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I like,
yeah.
even if it's like a flawed film, I'm like, I understand the flaw of that film.
Like, I don't even think it's really flawed. It's just like, well, okay, I guess in the sense it's flawed because it's only a 3 out of 5, but it's more of just like they found the gold, but they didn't dig in that spot more. It's like, it feels like you found the good stuff at the end of the screenwriting, and then you didn't have time to go back and polish that up.
Oh,
It's
I
just like,
see.
oh no.
So you got to that cool, you got to some cool stuff, but you didn't have the time to explore the cool stuff because you were more worried about the erase murder mystery. When really
Yeah,
it was the more fascinating bit is you have a group of robots that are human and that are becoming human, or not even human, just becoming
yeah.
self-aware in weird ways, and it's like,
'Cause, yeah,
uh-oh.
like, it's one thing for her to get jailbroken and start to get self-aware, but like she doesn't even become self-aware until she has a conversation with Jack Quaid, and he's like, "You're a robot," and she's tied up, and he's telling her like, "You're a robot. This was all planned. Now I'm gonna have to erase your memory," and like that's where she like becomes self-aware. But so it's not like the implication is, oh, she got jailbroke, so that allowed this self-awareness. But then seeing an older model one who's just like, no, I put it together. I became self-aware. Took some time, but we got there. And it's like humanity does not know what they're making.
It gives me, by accidental or sometimes intentional in my nerddom, that this similar thing shows up in Star Wars from time to time when
Yeah,
someone looks at, well, what did you do with these droids? What are you actually doing with these things? What do you mean you have to wipe their memory every so often? Because it was just like a phrase George Lucas said in the 70s. He didn't put any thought behind it. But after you've
yeah.
gone for decades, you're like, well, what do you mean you have this
You start
race?
thinking about it,
You're going, oh, there's some stuff going on here.
because yeah, then so the memory wipe happening in this has two implications. One, he just doesn't care, which is the more likely of the two. Or two, this is a known phenomenon of like, oh yeah, they become self-aware, and sometimes you just gotta wipe them.
It's also, to
But
me, it's really skeezy of, so how many times, and I would assume this is probably, if you're this kind of person, where how many mind wipes has he gone with this robot? So like you're rolling the dice. You're rolling your companionship
well,
robot, and you're going like,
well, no, so you get to do a setup, and I wanted to talk about this. So like the
okay,
gay couple, we get to see how they quote unquote met, which is a artificial memory for the robot,
ooh, I don't
and
like
it's like
that.
and it's a costume party, and he's like, vampire, and this dinosaur turns around, and he's like, "You're standing on my tail," and then it's like love at first sight between the two of them. After Jack Quaid erases him, we see the same memory, but now with Jack Quaid inserted as the dinosaur instead of Guillermo.
Ew. It's also it's
Yeah.
also you get to this thing where now the robots have shared memories. So like if two gay companionship robots met, they'd be talking about their partners to each other and be like, "Oh yeah, do you remember I met him at the costume party? I stepped on his dinosaur costume. I met
It's
my
like, oh, that's so funny. That's how I met my partner.
yeah. We only have four basic memories."
It's like, oh,
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like as I've said many a times. One of the few things that will drive me immediately to homicidal murder is finding out that I've been Ghost in the Shell. If if I find out my memory's been altered, it's done. It's done, and I don't mean like forgetting or whatever. That just that can happen.
you mean look at this picture? That's my family. It's like
Yes,
that's just a dog. This
that's
is the photo you showed him. It's just it's just Bandit.
these is just people. This isn't you. This is like this is Shutter. There's a Shutterstock logo on the page, on the frame. Can't you see it? And to me, it's like, no, it's time to kill. It's time to kill.
Yep. Now it's time to burn everything down. Now it is mad stand time.
That is the plot of one of my brain OC fan fiction creations that I have entitled Dark Wizard as a response to all my hatred of, well, betrayal of Harry Potter being into it. And the crux is the main character realizes that he was a wizard, and then that happened to him, where they just rechanged his memories and then sent him on his way, and he goes, nah, it's time to kill all of it. Because in Harry Potter, that is not illegal. Killing someone, illegal. Erasing and altering memories, a-okay. Done on the regular.
The implication for Gilderoy Lockhart is he should not have.
Yeah, he was doing that to tons of people.
Yeah, but he was doing it like clandestinely. He was hiding it.
The government does that all the time.
Yeah, I know, but the government also executes people.
Yeah, they throw you into like a sheet. They don't know where it goes. They just throw you into it. Stupid Harry Potter. I'm still mad about it. That's one of the things that I have this in. Oh, I'm still angry. I don't.
Yeah.
Is there anything in my life that has like soured me harder than Harry Potter? In terms of something that, or I'm just asking in general, that I liked / was really into, and then now I feel like a disgust that it lives in my brain.
SNK.
What?
SNK's owned by the Saudis now.
Oh,
can't buy any of that
okay,
now.
But
can't buy any of the whole.
But they didn't in like King of Fighters 13.
Yeah, I know, but like it's the same idea of like
no, but
you liked Harry Potter before she funded a whole anti-trans agenda.
Yeah, but I think it's like that's the same like the same crew that made KOF 94 is not working there right now.
That's why I say SNK though.
Okay, I current SNK, I get it. And I get that like you're throwing like Ronaldo and DJ Man because the Saudis are just putting in their favorite people into their video games now. But I don't know, but I don't have that level of knowledge and familiarity with SNK and King of Fighters that I do with Harry Potter. Like that's dark knowledge that lives in my brain. It's like dead.
No, I don't know. Yeah, because Harry Potter. I mean, I like the first 4 books. Like I might even say no.
No,
the
it's
5th book starts sucking.
No, fifth. This is bad. 6 is kind of bad,
so, like,
and 7th is bad.
It's the same thing as Giant Bomb, where like Harry Potter kind of had been dead to me already, and so her. Don't get me wrong, her being super shitty and using that to fund this like crusade of hatred is absolute garbage, and
Oh yeah.
she
Oh,
sucked.
I agree. I agree. I
But
think
like I don't have like a lot of love for Harry Potter because I was already like it's Harry Potter, it's fine.
yeah, for
It's
because
no Hatchet.
well,
Gary
no,
Paulson's not out here
no.
funding anti-trans hate campaign.
All I'm saying is K.A. Applegate remains a queen. We stand her. She's
Yep.
all it. She
Personally, Kayla Gwynn is like, yeah, I don't know. I read Harry Potter, and it's just a very standard story with so-so writing.
Ursula K. Le Guin can do that.
Yes, she can.
She can do that. She can. You can't fight her. That's like fighting Jose Mendoza, or like.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, good luck.
Good luck. It ain't happening. I wanted
You
to
looked
say
into the very essence of your soul and was not impressed.
no, you can't. What else? Oh, before I forget, I watched the last Venom movie, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
And I think I realized that it's just so the first Venom movie I kind of liked. I thought the second one was good because it was with Carnage, and then the last Venom movie was terrible because Venom suffers that he is a Spider-Man character, and when there's no Spider-Man characters, Venom also has no characters. Like there's no Venom original characters. He only exists in relation to Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's like Waluigi.
Yeah. Or it's just like all these Sony crap where it's like, I don't care about Kraven the Hunter. Kraven the Hunter only matters because he showed up that one time and fought Spider-Man.
Yeah. That's what Sony does not understand is Spider-Man is not like his universe is not what prints money, Sony. It's Spider-Man.
It's Spider-Man.
It's just Spider-Man.
Now I know
Spider-Man it's not like Batman, where at least Batman has the Joker. Spider-Man has nothing like that. He only has Spider-Man.
Listen, I understand, Sony. You saw the first season of the Alfred Pennyworth show, and you're also like, this is way better than it should have been. And you're like,
maybe we could do that.
Maybe we could do that. Which I still think that first season of Pennyworth, it's like a 4 out of 5, which is for that concept, you're like, wow, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. There's some stuff going on here. I like it. But yeah, no, it's Venom's not very good, and even the Venom parts weren't very good. It's very obnoxious. Like they kept leaning into making Venom too silly, and I don't like it when Venom is silly. I liked it when he was like, there's a specific tone of Venom I like, which is basically extremely yandere jilted lover combined with loser. Like that's what that symbiote should be. Like,
yeah.
You should think it's like a scary thing, and then you find out it's like an upset teenage girl on her live journal. Like that's.
Oh yeah, it is a scary thing because it's constantly in an emotionally unstable place, and it has the power to do something about it.
Yeah. Like that's
nothing productive about. No. You know, none of those things that it can do are productive.
No.
But
there's things you could do with, but it really only works in relationship to Spider-Man. That's the thing. You gotta have Spider-Man.
Yep, he has to be a mirror to Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's the idea of what if the whole point of Venom is asking Spider-Man the question, what if you just didn't do Peter Parker crap? What if you just ignored it? What if you didn't have to? I'm Venom. I'm giving you literally everything here. You don't even have to make webs anymore. You don't got to do that crap. Get out of here.
God, like literally the only reason he has a job is to help pay for his webs, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, of course. He has to pay for those chemicals. He has to sew his suit. You're doing your manual. You hate it. And you have to like go out there and solve crime because you're Spider-Man. You're strong enough to do it.
Yep, you have the power.
You have the responsibility to do it. You can't just turn it off.
Yep, Venom is all the power, none of the responsibility.
Yeah, you just do it. You want to kill that guy? You should probably kill that guy and eat his head.
We could kill that guy.
I'm hungry. I'll eat it.
The other nice thing is, The other nice thing is, yeah, like it's literally no responsibility because you could also shirk it and say like, no, Venom made me do
Yeah,
that.
Venom did
I
it.
didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't care.
Venom did it.
Listen, that thing needs to eat. That guy was like holding up his
Oh,
grandma.
do you remember Passed Out Spectacular Spider-Man?
That is one of the best. You mean
Venom?
the best scene in that entire show where the Venom symbiote just takes out the Sinister Six while Peter's sleeping,
Yes.
and it takes him out real hard.
It's like, nah, man, you are not a problem for me. Like, if I don't have morals or concern for your physical well-being, I can destroy you.
He just took that Shocker's gauntlet and just dropped it on top of Sandman, and he just couldn't reform.
Yep.
Oh, it's good.
All right. Well, I gotta go on that one.
All right. Thanks for yapping.
All right.
See you next time.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.